I get asked a lot of questions, from followers about people who are blogging, writing, making YouTube videos about the coming collapse. Now, this is a very important question and slight deeper understanding of what they're really talking about. A lot of these people who are talking about a coming collapse have been doing so for the last decade or two. Now, what's interesting is their definition of collapse may have changed, and they might not really be telling you because unless you really subscribe to some of these services, you'll really not come to know what they mean. So typically when you listen to some interview which talks about a collapse that you don't understand, it will sound like it's an extremely bearish interview, and they think that the whole collapse really means that equities are going to crash or bonds are going to crash or something else is going to crash. But what really happens is, what all this is really referring to is the debt super cycle, right? And when they're talking about the debt super cycle, there are only two ways it is going to unfold. It's either going to unfold through what is known as a deflationary crash, which actually means a decline in prices. But there's the alternate. And if we switched to the alternate, you really need to understand that there's also something known as the inflationary reset. Okay, and so when you're actually going through the inflationary reset, some people might just continue to call it a crash when it's really not that in terms of asset prices. Okay, because asset prices in an inflationary reset will actually go up. And that's probably the only way you'll end up holding on to the values, the underlying values, which means your purchasing power, because not only gold, but even equity or real estate to a significant extent in a monetary reset where, you are expanding the money supply significantly, which leads to inflation, will all rise in value, adjusting for that inflation. You can actually check this on any country that has seen a hyperinflation. You can look at Venezuela, you can look at Zimbabwe, and most recently, in the last couple of months, look at what happened in Turkey. Now, initially, when a currency collapse starts, you'll find that the currency is falling and equity prices are also under pressure as foreign money and even maybe some domestic money that can leave the shores actually leaves. But the moment the currency collapse gains pace, and speed, and inflation, it leads to inflationary pressures on the way up, everything reprices upwards. And that is why I call it the reflation trade, So this is essentially what you're seeing when you get, and if inflation is really not that high and you're not really getting a currency collapse, but a slow and steady devaluation, most asset prices will actually go up. So the real opportunity is on the upside. And that's really an important factor to understand whether you're in an inflationary or a deflationary environment. And therefore, anybody talking of a collapse is essentially trying to say that in real terms, that is, if you divide the underlying asset by inflation, then probably it goes down in price. But the fact is, equity prices will actually maintain their purchasing power significantly. The loss might only be nominal when you get a significant loss of value for the underlying currency. And so they are actually inflation hedges. So equity, gold, real estate all end up being inflation hedges in a inflationary collapse, as they might want to call it, or what we'll call as a monetary reset. And so far, we've actually seen, at least for the last 12 months, an underperformance by gold. But historically, it's seen that also tends to act as a hedge against that. Now, some of these assets may do better than others, depending on the underlying scenario. And that's what we've seen in the last 1 year, where equities have done better than the rest. And so if you're really focused on the idea that you're in an inflationary reset, and this is not the type of collapse where everything falls down, but you get a melt up, then you will actually be positioned very, very differently in financial markets and be looking at very, very different indicators, rather than sitting on the sidelines and thinking, yeah, these guys are saying it's all going to fall apart, I should not buy anything, and you'll lose purchasing power in the underlying cash that you're holding. So this is very important to understand which asset class is doing well, when and why, and being rightly positioned in the right asset classes, not getting carried away by the views, because like I said, many of these people would, if you actually looked at their services, would be telling you to buy something and not sell everything as they might actually sound in their blogs and interviews. So really try to understand what they're talking about, and only then position yourselves accordingly, else you'll end up listening to all of that and being wrongly positioned for an outcome that may be going completely the other way.